Hi, everybody. Good Monday evening to you. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz. Long time no see, right? We've got round two, and I wanted to get you up to speed on where these storms are right now, how we're kind of expecting it to evolve the rest of the evening, because we've obviously had some rough weather across a good portion of the region this afternoon. We don't need anything else. Unfortunately, we do have some storms popping, but I think there's good news in kind of analyzing the radar and where we're going to go from here. So let's take a look at it here. As always, if you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and shoot them in there. I'll give you a quick analysis. We'll go over kind of where everything is right now. We'll level set what to expect the rest of the evening. We'll answer your questions, and then we'll get you on your way here tonight, because I don't like to waste your time. So that's kind of how we do this. All right. So right now we had that first round of storms that went through, right? Produced all the damaging winds, had the really intense winds with that. That is now heading over into eastern part of Indiana and Ohio. We have our secondary round that the models have been picking up on. That is now developing right over areas, really southern Newton and Jasper County, but it stretches right over towards central Illinois. That's where we're seeing a lot of that activity right now. So that being said, in terms of the radar, let me zoom in and kind of show you what we're thinking here locally in terms of where these storms are. A couple things I want to show you here. You notice the lines on there. We talk about those lines a lot, right? If you've been with us long enough, that's CAPE. That's the atmospheric energy, basically how much juju does the atmosphere have, all right? You notice that with that first line that went through earlier today, we lost a lot of that. That sucked a ton of energy out of the atmosphere. So we went stable for a little bit. And the big question that I posed earlier was, is that energy able to come back through a southwest wind? Were we able to rebound this afternoon? And we did rebound. You can see over the last couple model frames there how the higher CAPE, the higher atmospheric energy has come back in. It's still hot and humid out there whatsoever. I mean, it's just downright tropical. And I mean, that's a telltale sign that, yeah, we recovered a little bit. So given that recovery, we have showers and storms that have been developing pretty rapidly. You can see them right here across. And actually, let me switch the screen if I can. That way, because I can't see where I'm pointing. I'm going to pull that over here. There you go. Now you can see my mouse cursor. So right in here, these are the storms that fired earlier. You notice how they extend back in a line. We still have a lot of energy up towards Chicago. So really, we're not done with the storm threat yet. But the way it looks like it's evolving to me is that our southern counties, where our severe thunderstorm watch is, Newton and Jasper counties, I think that's going to be our biggest threat right now. If you're in Lake Porter, LaPorte counties, I'm not saying we're not going to get rain, but it looks like the severe threat is lower for you than it is further south. Some of this activity out towards the west, you notice how that's kind of developing towards the north. The frontal boundary truly is just north of Chicago. So until that clears the area, we can't rule out severe weather. I just can't. But I think the chances are higher for our southern counties. And if you guys remember the modeling that we looked at earlier had these storms developing in a line kind of right where they are. It had it a little bit further north, and then it kind of sunk everything down to the south. So this is kind of the last line that develops as it all moves out. So we'll see if that holds true. The models haven't handled today well at all. So I really don't expect them to handle this evening well at all. But it does look like the bulk of the activity is kind of developing this little linear segment here. Not much happening to the north other than some showers up towards Rockford. My big question, I think, outside of where do these storms continue to develop down to the south, would be what happens with this activity up towards Rockford. Does that hit the humid air that we have in Chicago and in Lake County and Porter County? Because we have recovered, does it hit that and develop more storms, or does it just kind of stay showery at this point? Okay. So I'm just kind of spewing meteorological thought to you. I hope that's okay, because I like to bring you inside the thinking. But in summary, I would say our southern counties, Newton and Jasper County, you've got some decent storms just south of you right now. I think that's where the threat stays. And we'll be watching that storm back towards Dwight, which is in Illinois, back towards Streeter. That storm is kind of parallel to the Bourbonnais area, which would be parallel with like Roselawn, Demont. So we'll watch that. We'll see if anything develops on the leading edge. But for our northern counties, I got to say, for Lake, Porter, LaPorte counties, even Stark County to this point, what we're going to keep an eye on is that light shower activity back towards DeKalb and Aurora, Algonquin, Schaumburg. There's some light rain that's moving in there. If that develops, that would be our severe threat this evening. Otherwise, it's going to stay south, and it's all this southerly stuff that we're dealing with right now, which is actually just outside of Rensselaer. Everything south of you, you probably see the lightning, hear the thunder coming from those storms. There is a real decent storm just outside of our area near Buffalo and Norway. It's just south of Madairyville. That one has some hail and some strong winds with it. But overall, in terms of our county area, I mean, we're looking okay. Kentland's got a storm right now. May have some small hail moving in there. That's extreme southern edge of our counties. So really, we're doing okay. And we have to get that front through here first. And that front's going to take probably till about 11 o'clock, maybe 11 or midnight before it clears on out. But the more activity we get down towards the south, the more atmospheric energy gets sucked out of the atmosphere, which means lesser chance that we get more storms to develop off towards the north. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask those. Be happy to answer. And if not, we'll get you on your way here this evening. And I'll be keeping tabs on these storms, but in terms of live coverage, I don't need to take you from what you're doing. I'm sure you're probably in the middle of dinner right now. So I get it. All right. Again, I don't want to waste your time. Steven says, trust us. You're definitely not wasting our time. Thanks, Steven. That doesn't help. I appreciate that though, buddy. Derek doing well. Derek had a report with 58 mile per hour wind out of O'Hare. Derek is our region weather fan out of the O'Hare area. I always appreciate your pictures, Derek, and all that good stuff. Jake, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Vicky High from Hobart. Kim says, thank you. Your update this afternoon was spot on. I don't know about that, Kim. I mean, we were tracking the storms in. I'm trying to figure out why the timing wasn't right this morning, because I was thinking this round this evening was going to be the big show, and that morning storm really took off, and that was really the big show earlier. So our timing versus last night's forecast was off. I'll be the first to admit that. I mean, it was for everybody, let's be honest, and the models were off too. But, you know, I always want to get better at forecasting, and I want to be perfect every time, which is hard to do. But that morning round packed a punch for sure. We still have a lot of power outages across the area as well. It's not just us, it's all of Indiana. Michigan's got over 220,000 people without power. So all these storms that have been developing in this atmosphere have been really packing a punch this evening. So we're certainly not alone with the severe weather out there. All right. Okay, guys. Well, that's all I wanted to update you on. Just kind of let you know, what we're dealing with weather-wise. Again, most of the action is just south of us right now. We'll watch that storm, this one right here. I'm going to keep my eye on that. That one, as that continues to push east, that would affect southern areas. Maybe not. That would affect mainly Newton and Jasper County. I was going to say southern Lake County. We'll see what happens with that. Other than that, I'm watching this area right in here to see if anything develops. And if it does, it'd be over the next couple hours, and then we'd be done with it. So as of right now, we're quiet. Everything's further south, and hopefully we can keep it that way. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thanks for joining us. I'll have another update if necessary. If not, we'll just have a couple posts to get you through the rest of the evening. And then we've got nice, quiet weather after that. It's going to be great midweek. All right. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe.